Shri Gurubhyo Namaha children, I welcome you all to our online English class. In today's class, we are going to be seeing a lesson from your Footprints Without Feet book children. The lesson is The Hack Driver, written by Sinclair Lewis. Okay, before going into the lesson, let us understand about the author. Okay, Sinclair Lewis was born in February 7, 1885 and he died in January 10, 1951. He is an American playwright and a writer. He was married to Isabel Warner and he has 2 children with her. He has also won a Nobel Prize in Literature and he always he mostly wrote about modern working women children. Let us move into the lesson now. The Hack Driver. Okay, this lesson is about a curious or a very interesting driver. Okay, let us go into the lesson and find out more about the driver. After graduating with honors, I became a junior assistant clerk in a magnificent law firm. So, this is being narrated, okay, by a person who has graduated a undergraduate degree. Honors is a degree, okay. Graduating means graduating is passing the graduation, okay. He has finished his college, okay, with honors. Honors is a degree, okay. He has finished his degree in law and he became a junior assistant clerk in a magnificent. Magnificent is something which is very grand or very good, big or reputed, okay, in a very good law firm. I was sent not to prepare legal briefs, but to serve summons like a cheap private detective. So, he was having lots of expectations because now he has finished his law degree and he thought he is going to become a lawyer, but that was not the case. So, here he was not allowed to prepare legal briefs. Legal briefs means legal documents. He was not allowed to do any legal documents. Instead, he was to serve summons. Serve summons. Summons is a court order of calling the victim or calling the accused to meet the magistrate. Okay? Court order to meet the magistrate. Is called as a summon. So, here he was not working as a lawyer preparing any legal briefs. Here he was sent, okay, sent out of the office to deliver the summon. I had to go to dirty and shadowy corners of the city to seek out my victims. Some of the larger and more self-confident ones even beat me up. So, he was sent into the city to seek out, okay. To seek out means what? He was sent to find out. He had to go, okay, to find out the victims. Victims is the persons whom he has to give the summon. So, he has to go in person to meet them and deliver the summon like a postmaster, not like a postmaster, like a post office employee, okay. And he was sent to dirty and shadowy corners of the city. Shadowy corners means what? Some places which has not been much explored by people, okay. Some remote places of the city he had to go. And the victims, whoever he met, if they were too confident, okay, you can see dons will all be there. So, if somebody is who's very confident, they even beat him up, okay, for bringing him the summon. I hated this unpleasant work and the side of the city life it revealed to me. I even considered fleeing to my hometown where I could have been a real lawyer right away without going through this unpleasant training period. So, he hated this work. Okay, this was not the work which he wanted to do. He was aspiring to become a lawyer straight away. So, he thought of even fleeing. Fleeing means what? Run away from the place in order to escape. So, running away from the place in order to escape. He wanted to flee the city and go to his hometown, because he would have been a lawyer there straight away. Here, even though it is a city, okay, he was put to some menial work here. So, he didn't like that. So, it was very unpleasant for him. Unpleasant is something which he didn't like, not very pleasant. So, I rejoiced one day when they sent me out 40 miles in the country to a town called New Million to serve summons on a man called Oliver Lutkins. So, what happened? He was happy. He rejoiced means what? He was happy. He enjoyed the occasion because he was sent out from the city 40 miles, okay, to a place called New Million to serve summon, okay, to serve summon to a person called Oliver Lutkins. So, this lawyer is in search of a person called Oliver Lutkins. So, now he is sent to the place New Million. We needed this man as a witness in a law case, and he had ignored all our letters. So, this man was a witness for some case, and this summon is now served to him in person because he had been ignoring all the court letters. He had not accepted or paid attention to the letters from the court. When I got to New Million, my eager expectations of a sweet and simple country village were severely disappointed. Its streets were rivers of mud with rows of wooden shops, either painted or so brown or bare of any paint at all. The only agreeable sight about the place was the delivery man at the station. So, when he reached this village, he was going to some village, so he had some expectations of what he would be seeing in the village. The moment he landed into the village, when he saw, okay, the sights were very disappointing because that was not what he was expecting, because everything was in contrast of his imagination. In New Million, the roads were covered only with mud, and there were rows of wooden shops which had no paint or painted with some dark browny shade. So, he didn't like the sight of the village. The only thing which was appealing to him was the delivery man. Okay, there was some delivery man at the station. Only that person was appealing to the lawyer. He was about 40, red-faced, cheerful, and thick about the middle. His working clothes were dirty and well worn, and he had a friendly manner. You felt at once that he liked people. I told him, to find a man named Oliver Lutkins. So, this lawyer, he meets a delivery man at the station. This delivery man was a middle-aged man of 40. He was red-faced, he was cheerful, which means what? He had a very pleasant and happy, smiling face. Okay? And he was thick, which means he was fat, and he was thick in the middle means what? He had a big tummy. And his dress, working dress, they were dirty and well worn. Well worn means what? It was used repeatedly many times. So, the cloth has now become very worn out, old. And he had a friendly manner. So, he was able to create some friendly vibrations or the friendly rapport with others. So, the lawyer is going and introducing himself to him, and he is also telling him that he has come in search of a person called Oliver Lutkins. Lutkins, I saw him around here about an hour ago. Hard fellow to catch though, always up to something or other. He is probably trying to start up a poker game in the back of Fritz's shop. I tell you, boy, is there any hurry about locating Lutkins? So, the delivery man, so far we have not been mentioned about the names of the delivery man or the name of the lawyer. So, the lawyer and the delivery man, the lawyer is asking him to help him find out Lutkins. So, the delivery man is telling Lutkins is a very tough man to catch, and is there anything important? Okay, is there any urgent work with locating where Lutkins will be? Okay, he is also telling that he is a very tough man to catch, which means what, he will always be eluding the grasp of people. Okay, he would be slipping away from people's notice, and he is also telling he would be there in the Fritz shop for a poker game. Yes, I want to catch the afternoon train back to the city. I was very important and secret about it. I'll tell you what, I've got a hack. I'll get it out and we can drive around together and find Lutkins. I know most of the places he hangs out. He was so open and friendly that I glowed with warmth of his affection. So this hack, the delivery man, okay, he is now giving him a solution. So he is telling this Oliver Lutkins is a very tough fellow to catch. So I am willing to bring, I have a hack with me, so I will bring with, okay, and let us together go and find for Oliver Lutkins. So hack is a cart. He is telling he is having a cart and he is willing to take the lawyer around in order to find out Lutkins, because he knows the places where Lutkins will be. So he is telling I am ready to help, and this lawyer was feeling so happy because his work has now been simplified. There is somebody to help him out. Okay, he is also new to the place. So this finding a person who is willing to help, and that person was very friendly. So everything was seeming so favorable for him. I knew, of course, that he wanted the business, but his kindness was real. I was glad the fair money would go to this good fellow. I managed to bargain down to $2 an hour, and then he brought from his house nearby a sort of a large black box on wheels. Even though the lawyer knew, okay, this man is now willing to help because he wants to have this business. Cart, okay, he is a driver. So if he is having some passenger, it would be of some help, some money to him. So the delivery man didn't want the lawyer to go away. He was readily willing to help because he wanted to have the business. And the lawyer was also aware, okay, that this person is readily helping because he wants the business. And but he felt that, okay, I am happy. He felt that this man is a good fellow, so I am willing to pay him the charge. Okay, because he is a good fellow, I am happy that the money is reaching a very good fellow. So this was the thought of the lawyer, and he bargains and he is accepting for $2 per hour, and the driver, he is going and bringing the cart. He remarked, "Well, young man, here is the carriage," and his wide smile made me into an old friend. The villagers are so ready to help a stranger. He had already made it his own task to find Oliver Lutkins for me. He said, "I don't want to interfere, young fellow, but my guess is that you want to collect some money from Lutkins. He never pays anybody a cent." So after he brings the carriage, the lawyer is very happy that he has found somebody who is willing to help. Okay, he is willing to make the task of the lawyer so simple. So everything was seeming of a less burden to him. So he was happy that he had met the delivery man. And now they both start into finding this Oliver Lutkins, and this driver, okay, he is asking, okay, what is the matter? Are you trying to collect any money from Lutkins? Why? Because I must warn you that it is very difficult to collect money from Lutkins. He never pays anybody back. He still owes me 50 cents on a poker game I was fool enough to play with him. He is not really bad, but it's hard to make him part with his money. If you try to collect from him in those fancy clothes, he'll be suspicious and get away from you. If you want, I'll go into the Fritz and ask for him, and you can keep out of sight behind me. So he is also telling his own part of the story. Okay, the driver himself he has himself lost 50 cents to this Lutkins. Lutkins has cheated him of 50 cents in a poker game, and he is telling, okay, it is very difficult to collect the 50 cents from him. not the 50 cents, it is very difficult to collect the money from him, and he never pays anybody back. Not that he is a very bad fellow, but he does not want to part with his money. He will never give money back. So, I am willing to help. Why? Because you have come in all fancy clothes. If you go inside and ask for Lutkins, he will be alarmed, okay? He will be ready to escape. So, you better stay out. I will go inside and I will ask for Oliver Lutkins. So, this was the plan, okay? And poker is a game, okay? You would have seen this kind of a gambling, okay, with the cards and the money, okay? So, this is a poker game. I loved him for this. By myself, I might never have found Lutkins. With the hack driver's knowing help, I was sure of getting my man. I took him into my confidence and told him that I wanted to serve the summons on Lutkins, that the man had refused to be a witness when his information would have quickly settled our case. So, now the lawyer started to have some confidence in the driver. Okay, he is now able to trust him. So, he is slipping in the matter of why he actually wanted Oliver Lutkins. So, he is saying that he wants to serve the summon because he is a witness for some case which would have been easily settled if he had come and attested his witness. Since he had been moving away from all these things, I wanted to come in person to deliver the summon. The driver listened earnestly. At the end, he hit me on the shoulder and laughed. Well, we'll give brother Lutkins a little surprise. Let's start, driver. Most folks around here call me Bill or Magnusson. My business is called William Magnusson, Fancy Carting and Hacking. Alright Bill, shall we proceed to Fritz? So, now after hearing the story, after understanding what was the actual reason for the lawyer to reach out Oliver Lutkins, he is telling, okay, let us give Lutkins some little surprise, because he knows the places where Lutkins will be, and it would be a surprise for him because it is difficult for anybody to spot Lutkins. Somebody is there to help him now. So, it will be a surprise for Lutkins because he does not get easily caught by anybody, and they both are now going, okay, and the driver is introducing himself. Now that we are given the name of the driver, he is Bill Magnusson, and he has a shop called William Magnusson Fancy Carting and Hacking. So, this was the shop, his business and his shop name, and people call him Bill. Yes, Lutkins is just as likely to be there as anywhere. Plays a lot of poker. He is good at deceiving people. Bill seemed to admire Lutkins' talent for dishonesty. I felt that if he had been a policeman, he would have caught Lutkins respectfully and jailed him with regret. Bill led me into Fritz. So, Lutkins, they both are going, and this man Bill knows much about Lutkins. He knows where he would go. So, he is taking around the places. First they now go to the Fritz shop, and here he is also started to admire, the lawyer has also now started to admire the deceiving quality of Lutkins. Okay? If he had been a police and if he had been given a chance to go and catch this Oliver Lutkins, he would have gone him and arrested with all respect and put him in the jail with regret, because he does not want somebody of this talent, okay, talent of deceiving people to be outside. So much this Bill was creating a hype of Lutkins. Bill led me into Fritz. Have you seen Oliver Lutkins around today? Friend of his is looking for him, said Bill cheerily. Fritz looked at me, hiding behind Bill. He hesitated and then admitted, yes, he was in here a little while ago. Guess he is gone over to the Gustavs to get a shave. Well, if he comes in, tell him I am looking for him. So, he is going to the Fritz shop and he is asking for, Bill is going inside the Fritz shop and he is asking for Lutkins, and Fritz is telling he is not here, he might have gone to the Gustavs to have a shave. Okay? And meanwhile, this lawyer was staying outside. Okay, he didn't enter. We drove to the Gustav's barber shop. Again, Bill went it first and I lingered at the door. He asked not only the Swede but two customers if they had seen Lutkins. The Swede had not. He said angrily, I haven't seen him and don't care to. But if you find him, you can just collect that $35 he owes me. One of the customers thought he had seen Lutkins walking down Main Street this side of the hotel. So he is now going into the Gustav's and he is asking. Gustav is a barber shop. He is going into the barber shop and he is asking. Bill is asking for Lutkins. Okay, he is also asking two other customers who were there inside the shop, and Gustav was telling angrily he has not seen Lutkins, and he is also requesting Bill. Okay, if you happen to see this Lutkins, why don't you collect that $35 which he has to pay me. Okay, $35 this Lutkins has to pay Gustav. So why don't you collect it for me? And there was one customer who was giving in some other information that he had seen this Lutkins walking in the main street. As he climbed back into the hack, Bill concluded that since Lutkin had exhausted his credit at the Gustav's, he had probably gone to the Gray's for a shave. At Gray's barber shop, we missed Lutkins by only 5 minutes. He had just left, probably for a pool room. At the pool room, it appeared that he had just bought a pack of cigarettes and gone out. So we pursued him just behind him, but never catching him for an hour till it was past 1 o'clock. So they went there in the Gustav. Since they now understand that this Lutkins, he is having some depth in the Gustav place, he must have not have the shave in the Gustav, so he must have gone to some other place. So now they go from Gustav place to the Gray barber shop. Okay. And at the Gray barber shop, when they went and asked, they are telling that Lutkins has left the place only 5 minutes before. So they were very close to him, but they were not able to catch him. So this was, they were following him too close, but they never caught him. And this happened, and until 1 o'clock, they were only searching. I was hungry, but I had so enjoyed Bill's rough country opinions about his neighbors that I scarcely cared whether I found Lutkins or not. So this lawyer was starting to enjoy the company of Bill. Okay, like how he spoke, what he was narrating about the village was making him so interested that he lost that he lost the thoughts that he has to find out Lutkins. He was not bothered about Lutkins now. He was so interested in listening to Bill. How about something to eat? I suggested. Let's go to the restaurant and I'll buy you lunch. Well, I ought to go home to the wife. I don't care much for these restaurants. Only 4 of them and they're all bad. Tell you what we'll do. We'll get the wife to pack up a lunch for us. She won't charge you more than $50, and it would cost you more for a greasy meal in a restaurant. And we'll go up to the Waits Hill and enjoy the view while we eat. So now I told you it was 1:30 and now they were feeling hungry. And this lawyer is asking Bill whether they can go to some restaurant and have lunch. And he was ready to buy lunch for Bill also. Now Bill is telling him a suggestion or some plan. He is telling, I am not interested in having meal in the restaurants, and moreover there are only 4 restaurants in this place and all the 4 restaurants are very bad. So he is telling that my wife would have cooked for me. I will go there and eat, and I will also ask her to pack some lunch for us. And it will not cost much also. She will only charge $50 for a lunch, which is a very cheap rate. So let us go to her and ask her to pack lunch for both of us, and we will go to some hill. We will go to the Waits Hill and we will sit there and we will enjoy the view, and we will also enjoy eating our meal. So this was the plan for that time. Okay, they wanted to pass the lunch time in a hill. So I hope you would have understood till now what we have seen in this lesson. So we will continue the remaining part of the lesson in the next class, children. And before closing, please do subscribe our YouTube channel for more updates. See you, children.